So we can start late, but we cannot start early. Here we go. It's the law or something. All right. We'd like to welcome everyone and call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. It is June 4th, 2024. We're beginning our meeting at 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers of West Valley City Hall. We would like to excuse Councilman Hune this evening. Otherwise, we have all council members present: Councilman Fisimanu, Councilman Whetstone, Councilman Harmon, myself, Councilman Christensen, Councilman Norfelt. We're also joined at the dais with our city manager, Mr. Peely, and our city recorder, Ms. Kamek. We will have our opening ceremony, and we'll turn the time to Councilman Harmon.
Thank you, Mayor. I was actually went and grabbed a bite to eat across the street before this meeting and saw a couple of firefighters over there, and they were talking about civics. And actually, one of them asked the other one, "What's the first 10 amendments to the Constitution called?" And I'm walking past and I hear this, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool that they're talking about this. It's pretty neat. So I had prepared a little civics lesson tonight to go with our Pledge of Allegiance, and hope you'll bear with me. But by definition, a republic is a representative form of government that is ruled according to charter or constitution. A democracy is a government that is ruled according to the will of the majority. Although these forms of government are often confused, they are quite different. The main difference between a republic and a democracy is the charter or constitution that limits power in a republic to protect the individual's rights against the desires of the majority. If you're confused about what we have in America, it is a republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Anytime a government decides it is necessary or desirable to test the boundaries of a constitutional right, that it should only be done with caution and with great respect to those constitutional boundaries. Further, it should only be done if the benefit to be gained is so great and certain that it far outweighs the damage done by the constriction of individual liberty. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, will you please stand and join with me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now address our minutes of May 28th, 2024. Turn those minutes to the council for discussion or a motion.
Mayor, I'd move to approve those minutes.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And they'll stand approved. All right, we will now accept public comment. Public comment period is limited to 30 minutes. Any person wishing to comment shall limit their comments to 3 minutes. Upon recognition by the mayor, you will approach the microphone. If you did not sign up, please give us your name and address, otherwise just your name. All comments shall be directed to the mayor. No one addressing the city council during the comment period shall be allowed to comment more than once during the comment period. Speakers should not expect a debate with the mayor, council, or city staff. The mayor, council, and staff may respond after the comment period is concluded. Speakers shall refrain from personal attacks against fellow citizens, city staff, or members of the city council. So we'll now turn the time over to you. And I have my little sign-up sheet. So speaker number 1.
Hello, my name is Kate Ruffner. I'm a resident of West Valley City, and I'm a team lead for the Keep West Valley Performing Group. I am grateful for your time this evening and for your willingness to hear our solutions and work with us over the past few weeks to find something that will benefit West Valley residents. In a previous meeting, a comment was made that the city decided to get out of the theater business. This confused and concerned me because the West Valley Arts has been and currently is a city program. And alongside other city programs, it deserves consideration for serving the residents of West Valley City with world-class theater, education and outreach programs, discounts for citizens, cross-generational enrichment, cross-cultural team building, and a place for communities to gather and develop. These benefits are essential to the well-being and growth of West Valley City. To label this program as a business was a startling admission of the city's current preferences regarding this city program. And I got to thinking about how the city program has been evaluated alongside other subsidized programs in the city. For example, sidewalks. Would you ask a sidewalk to provide an accounting of its ROI? Would you say that a historical site was badly managed because it does not bring its own revenue via entrance fees? What about a senior center, a library? Would you say that a city should get out of the recreation business because the soccer fields and swimming pools do not hit an unreasonable revenue target by charging exorbitant entrance fees, thereby removing resident ability to access those programs to begin with? Demanding that West Valley Arts run itself like a business is to suggest that any city program can be closed or abandoned because the governing body of the city does not have a preference toward that program at that moment. I understand the listed concerns about the program's funding or management. However, all of those concerns are a result of viewing the city program as a business, which it is not. If you remove this program from the city's budget, what program is next? What soccer field, library, what senior center will be sold off or leased to other organizations or charged with finding its own profits? City subsidies enhance the lives of residents. West Valley City residents deserve to have a broad range of excellent services, including a robust theater program that builds education, integrity, and the ability to empathize. I urge you, our city leaders, to consider your approach and prioritize the West Valley Arts program as an essential part of our community's well-being and thus the budget. What resident would want to live in a city where the prevailing philosophy is what beloved city program will be next? Thank you for your time and consideration. Two.
Mayor Lang, Council, Mr. Peely, thank you for your time and your consideration. My name is Brandon Ruffner. I've lived in West Valley City for 41 of my 42 years. I left in 2008 to pursue a law degree at in-state college and returned home to West Valley to finish my studies at the University of Utah. I chose to return to West Valley and to ultimately raise a family here because of the diversity of West Valley City citizens, but also because of the diversity, the commitment of West Valley to a broad diversity of programs, from exciting recreation centers to a beautiful cultural celebration center, from the Maverick Center, which last week we learned you could see monster truck rallies at, to a theater, a best in state theater right across the street. There's been a narrative throughout this process that in 2017, when Hale Center Theater left West Valley, they left and took their business with them. But I view this differently. In 2017, the Hale Center Theater left West Valley City a gift. Only West Valley City has a theater bearing the city's name that is mentioned in the same breath as the Eccles Theater or the Hale Center Theater when it comes time to dole out awards for theaters. Only West Valley City can claim its own performing arts center won a Best of State award in 2024. What a unique and valuable gift, something that Salt Lake City with the Eccles Theater and Sandy City with the Hale Center Theater lack. As Councilman Harmon pointed out, we live in a republic. You, the city council, represent the citizens of West Valley. As council members in the past have spoken out about their responsibility to balance the city's budget and, quote, stop the bleeding, I urge this council to not lose sight of its corresponding duty to its citizens, to use the funds available to it for the betterment of the lives of West Valley City citizens. Is the city really better without a best in state performing arts program? I think all of you deep down know that it is not. So for that reason, I urge you to set aside funds for the West Valley Performing Arts Program through 2025 and beyond. In so doing, you will reaffirm your commitment to a diversity of programming and ensure that the citizens of West Valley have access to this unique and valuable gift well into the future. Thank you for your time.
Speaker 3.
Buenos tardes. My name is Armando Serrano. I have worked at Tulican Amphitheater, Pioneer Theater Company, and the Utah Shakespeare Festival, as well as West Valley Performing Arts. Like many of the residents of West Valley, English is not my first language. I was born in Mexico and immigrated here when I was 2. West Valley is home to the most diverse population in the state of Utah. Like me, so many of your residents call another country home too. According to the Utah New American Task Force, there are nearly 300,000 immigrants in Utah, which is nearly 8.5% of the population. Immigrants contribute $613 million in state and local taxes and $1.1 billion in federal taxes. West Valley holds the biggest piece of that pie. As of 2022, 22% of West Valley residents were born outside of the country, over 30,000 people, which is 10% of all the immigrants in the entire state. According to the census, over 40% of the city is Hispanic or Latino. Never, in my experiences working professionally as a performer, have I seen a company so dedicated to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like when we invited one of the local schools for the deaf to come do a workshop with us as actors, and every run has shows that includes an ASL translation. When we did In the Heights, we translated the posters to Spanish, did bilingual outreach to schools in the community. We collaborated with local Latino influencers. We had block parties and hosted exhibits that celebrated the culture and the art of the communities that you represent. They brought their own flags from their own home countries to lift during Carnaval del Barrio. I can't tell you how many people came to me after that show and said, "Esta fue mi primera obra." This was my first show. I had never been to the theater before that. Or those saying that they've never seen themselves represented on stage. Rion Hagashi, a performer from Japan, was able to extend her H-1B visa and contribute to our state and our nation's economy because of the work she received from West Valley Performing Arts during West Side Story. I am not a citizen. I can't vote, and the path to citizenship for me is not as available as it is for some others. I'm a recipient of DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. And the directors that cast me don't know this, but every 2 years I have to fill out a form, the I-765W, to petition why I belong here. One thing I've been able to put on that form is that I receive work from West Valley Performing Arts. It's an essential piece of the puzzle of immigration that keeps me here in the only country I've ever known. In keeping West Valley performing, you are choosing to continue a theater dedicated to celebrating the rich history and backgrounds of all people around you, voting for you, shopping in your city, buying groceries from Tejeda's market, and getting paletas in the summertime. That celebrates their culture, whether that culture is quinceañeras or monster truck rallies. Thank you for continuing to consider keeping West Valley Performing Arts Center open.
Speaker 4.
Thank you for your time, Mayor. I'm Jeff Stinson. I love live theater. I've seen many a performance at the West Valley Performing Arts Center and have been thrilled with every experience I've had there. I run a small little Facebook group. We've got just over 200 members called the Salt Lake Society for Seeing Things and Eating Things. It's a really complicated thing we do. We go to restaurants and we eat things, and then we go to plays and we see things. Our group is really excited to be attending the Lightning Thief next weekend, as well as dining here in West Valley. I'm not here just as an avid theater goer, though. I'm here as a member of the local business community. I'm the CTO for Holiday Oil. Our corporate office is here in West Valley. I've worked there for 25 years now. I'm sure you know that our founder, we're celebrating our 60th year this year, and our founder, Jerry Wagstaff, was one of the original 3 commissioners that founded the West Valley City government. We have 7 locations here in West Valley. Over a lot of years of analyzing sales data, I can tell you that our best days are the days when cities have chosen to find reasons for their communities to gather for events such as the West Valley Performing Arts Center puts on. I had the opportunity to work with Jerry for a lot of years. He passed away a couple of years ago, but he was very invested in this community and providing opportunities for people in West Valley City. I can tell you that we love going to the theater, and I just am very, very grateful that you guys are looking at opportunities to keep it open. From Holiday Oil's perspective, we are very invested in wanting to see that space stay open. And I know you're looking at setting up a new entity as a possibility, which we're really grateful that you're looking at that as a possibility. Our company would love to partner with that new entity and organization to provide fundraising opportunities at our locations, to provide awareness and provide some opportunities to raise funds for that new entity if that's the direction things go. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Good evening. I'm Wendy Finau. Tonight, I will discuss the crucial relationship between curb appeal and perceived value and how these concepts relate to the West Valley Theater Arts. Lawn Love is a website that highlights the importance of curb appeal, offering homeowners the opportunity to reimagine their landscaping by connecting them with skilled professionals. Savvy homeowners understand that curb appeal can significantly impact the value of their property. The impression a potential buyer gets as they pull up to the curb can influence their decision and the perceived value of the home. That's where it starts, right? Subconsciously, every person passing the home can also value the property based on that same concept. And so it is this idea that I ask you to consider carefully: perceived value. In a recent Lawn Love blog, a self-contained study titled 2022's Most Artsy Cities in America, author Sav Mave ranks 200 of the country's largest cities against 22 different metrics to come up with a list of the cities with the largest artistic impact on their community and visitors. The top 5 cities include 5, Washington, D.C., 4, Seattle, Washington, 3, New York, New York, 2, Miami, Florida, and number 1, San Francisco, California. West Valley City, Utah is ranked number 200. Now, the impressive part about this ranking is that there are over 109,000 cities nationwide. The mere fact that West Valley City, Utah made the list is both exciting and troubling. I had mentioned in my talk last year, when I spoke here last on the 21st of May, that Sandy City's Hale Center Theater generated $13 million in 2018 when the theater had initially opened for its first season. Sandy City was not even ranked among those 200 cities. However, West Valley was. That's impressive. And though it may be impressive to hit this ranking list, it does beg the question: how can West Valley City move the needle to rank in the top 10? Let's start by looking at what the number 1 city does to hit that benchmark. A precursory look at bayareaeconomy.org shows a quick financial breakdown of the total economic impact of funding nonprofit arts, one that generates $1.7 billion in economic output and creates or supports 36,828 full-time equivalent jobs per year. The return on investment for the city and county of San Francisco showed that in the 2019 fiscal year, the city spent $95.7 million to support the arts. Every $1 million spent by the city on the arts helped San Francisco generate $17.5 million in economic output, supporting 385 jobs in San Francisco. The adage, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars, should guide our discussions on budgeting for the theater in the new organization. The sentiment expressed by this council member, thank you.
Speaker. Speaker 6.
How's it going? My name is Cameron Roberts. I'm not here with the performing arts, so different change up for you. But moved to West Valley a year ago to be close to my business in South Salt Lake. I own a fitness studio. It's called KFX Training. But we moved into single family homes right off the 215 in Costco. Treasure Isle is the name of the street. But the plan was to stay here long term in West Valley City. We come from San Diego and went to BYU and then lived in Riverton and lived in South Jordan, but now we're in West Valley. It's close to my work. We're happy here. We want to send our kids to schools and help build the community here, obviously, and maybe even send them to the performing arts in West Valley City. But the reason I'm here is because once we moved in, more and more cars were filling up on the sides of our streets. And at first it was kind of like, what's going on here? What's the issue with this? What is this? But as time has passed on, the streets are completely packed. The driveways are completely full of cars. And we've come to realize that there's boarding rooms in our neighbors' houses in the basements. There's top floors are getting rented out. And some families even have multiple families living below them in the houses. And obviously you can see why that would be a concern for a family not renting. But basically every house in the street is doing it except for my house. And so that's why there's nobody here with me to back me up on this one. But the street's not zoned for it. One of the renters below got forcefully removed for apparently sexually assaulting a minor. Cops are here all the time on the street. We've got a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old who play on the bikes out at front on the curb. Lots of cars out there. The street's busy. Cars are flying by. There's new move-ins. There's strangers all the time. There's cops there. Houses are getting trashed. Street parking is gone. Yards are a mess. Anyways, all I'm asking on this is, can we maybe look at solutions to the street? Perhaps put no parking signs up at certain times, maybe overnight there. I know you guys looked into that a couple of weeks ago and I watched the video on that, but perhaps better enforce the code regarding the internal accessory dwelling units. I understand it's pretty difficult to prove that. I've tried to do it myself and it's hard to go find rental listings because a lot of them are kind of word of mouth. So it's hard to enforce that, but maybe we check parking lots in the back. There's parking lots in the backyard with 4 or 5 cars literally parked back there. As I've shared with my concerns with my friends and family, people have told me, you live in West Valley, what'd you expect? And I thought to myself, I guess I expected to live in West Valley and to live in a single family home that wasn't in reality a secret high density housing area. I've lived in those houses. We tried to move away from that. That's why we're here now. My only question is, what can we do? We're getting fairly desperate here as a family and hope to stay here in West Valley long term. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 7. I could try and say the last name, or the first name. Abdrixie? No? Okay, we'll go to speaker 9.
I am Walt Sorensen. I am a lifelong resident of the city. I'm here to speak against the proposed rezoning of the Redwood Drive-In. Every open space and past business in this city should not be bulldozed for yet another enormous apartment complex. Yes, housing is important, but so is having a variety within the city important. We need city facilities, commercial spaces, businesses, and open space. I also want to speak in support of the West Valley Performing Arts Center. Thank you for being supportive in thinking about other solutions than just closing the theater. This is just the first step in a long journey in righting the ship the theater is sailing. Mayor, I urge the city to look beyond the December 31st, 2025 deadline of support. It would be good for the city to continue to think about and plan to provide some level of support to the theater beyond 2025 relative to the value that the theater provides to the residents and businesses in this city. There are many solutions to the funding challenges for the theater. There are many families and people of great means in our region who could be given the opportunity to contribute to the theater sponsorship. There are many businesses and philanthropy groups who may want to sponsor the building and performing arts group if given the opportunity. Just as our our arena has a naming sponsor with the Maverick Center, the theater could too. We need to encourage continued donations to the theater through the engraved bricks, seat nameplates, catch up with the cast events, special invitations, community auctions, and other programs. Even seemingly small contributions can have big impacts when lots of little things are added together. The city should continue to support the continued Oktoberfest use of the theater as the Heineken House, as well as corporate events, wedding receptions, and more that should all be explored as part of the long-term funding model for the theater. I ask the city to rise to the occasion, show pride, unity, and progress to make our city one of the best in state that we truly are in supporting the theater. Please do not shrink from this challenge to save a jewel of our city. Thinking outside of the box, there are things like the Domino's Pizza pothole repair sponsorship, in which potholes are repaired and gets a Domino's logo. There are many solutions. We just have to think harder. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, was there anyone else that wished to speak that didn't have a chance to sign up?
Did you call the Abdulrazak?
I did. Yep,
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
you're okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, my name is Abdulrazak Ibrahim, but I don't live in West Valley, but I've been living like Glendale like since in '98. But my people lives on west side of Salt Lake City, all the way down to Magna. Also, I have organization, it's a non-profit. So normally I work with the county mayor, Jenny Wilson and Erin Mendel. So what we did like, like a couple of months ago, like a rec center for the kids under 18 years old they will be getting a bus pass for the 1 year. And then what happened was rec center, they refused to do that. They say we are not part of the county. I just confused whether what's the bad is out of state or is it the Utah state or out of state? I'm not quite sure, but we need to find out why they're saying that we are not part of the county. And then the county, they spend the money for the kids on West Valley, or all this that. But what I'm just saying that I do really care family, especially on the kids under 18 years old, so they should have bus for 1 year on the rec center on West Valley. So it's all the Utah. So because we have a lot of kids under 18 years, we don't want to get to do like bad things. So we should make sure busy on rec center so they can go have a free bus on West Valley. That's what I came for. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, is there anyone else that wishes to speak that didn't have a chance to sign up? So name and address.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Legowski. I'm not a resident of West Valley, but I was a resident of West Valley once upon a time. I have been a performer for all of my life, and I did leave West Valley at the time because one of the main reasons I left West Valley was there was no opportunity for theater at the time that I was there. As a performer, that is something that's very important to me. I am grateful for the council's continued participation in keeping West Valley performing, and for the continued discussions in hopefully keeping the theater open. I am part of the West Valley, Keep West Valley Performing Group, and I apologize, I am a performer, but I'm not a public speaker. If I didn't write it, it's much better for me. But I am a part of this group, and one of the things that I have been participating in greatly is research. And one of the things that I have noticed while researching furiously through other cities' budgets is not only the efforts that have been put into making sure that there is solid funding for the arts. For example, the Orem, who dedicates a small percentage of their sales tax into arts, so much so that there is a robust program where there's grants available for anyone performing arts in Orem to apply for. And other cities setting up funds, setting up specific budgets, setting up guaranteed funding for the arts. Not only was I surprised at how much effort is being put into by individual cities to support the arts, but I was also surprised at the amount of pride that these cities are holding in these programs, paragraphs and pages put inside of their city budgets where there's supposed to be numbers, going over what they are doing to support the arts, how proud they are of these programs, boasting of all of the things that they are doing and supporting. I'm appreciative of all the efforts that are going into that. And I do hope that the city council will continue to put effort into this and know that this is a source of pride for many in this city. And this is a source of pride for many who are no longer part of this city. I was a member of West Valley, and I do hope that this is something that this council will make me regret leaving. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Name and address, please.
Hi, this is impromptu. My name is Julian Grief, and I live in Forsythia Drive in West Valley City. And I think I just really wanted to point out is that when I built our home, my family or my husband and I built our home about 30 years ago, we had a huge community because it was not just us. We built it as a street, and we all became really good friends, and a lot of, it was kind of that new thing. And then slowly over years, a lot of people moved out, and we really lost that sense of community. And in the past few years, which I've seen many of you at, including you, Mayor, we've had the opportunity to participate in the West, the day of, oh geez, I just forgot what it's called now. My hometown, where it's the big push to get our towns back and our cities back to being communities. You see multicultural people wanting to perform and wanting to get together and want to communicate and want to be a part of one another's lives versus it being just me going home to my house every day and no longer wanting to communicate with anybody that lives around me because I don't know them. So I feel like that's one of the opportunities we have by keeping this, the West Valley Center open, is that it's another way that we can think about bringing our community together. How does that work? How do we make it happen? And how will it make us as a stronger city here in West Valley? I will admit, one of the people that said I will never live in West Valley, but after 30 years, it's my community, it's my hometown, and it's now where I live. So I think that there's got to be a way that somehow we can bring the community together, either through events or something that is held there, just to make them aware of that it is here and it's going to stay, and it's all part of our same community. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Flitton. I've lived in West Valley for 50 some odd years. I love West Valley. I love the theater. I love the people here. I wanted to point out just very quickly that when the pioneers, and we have that heritage, when the pioneers came to this valley, they didn't bring hockey. They may have brought the stick pole. They didn't bring basketball. They brought a choir. They brought a theater. That's one of the first things they put in our valley, was that choir and that theater. Our heritage loved the arts and knew how important it was to the people of this valley. I so appreciate each one of you taking time and listening to us. I hope you're feeling that the people of this city deserve the theater. They want the theater. Please help us. Let us help you. Let's work together. Thank you.
Name and address, please.
My name is Eric McGinnis. I don't live in West Valley City. I wasn't planning on speaking today, but I wrote a few things down because I noticed there was some extra time. I haven't lived in Utah for well, almost a year now, and I am a former foster kid. I am a child of addiction. I am also someone who lost a parent to suicide when I was only 11 years old. In addition to this, I am a suicide survivor myself. And more than anything I take pride on, I am a theater teacher to teenagers. Theater not only changed my life, it saved my life on many occasions, and it has saved many lives of teenagers that I have worked with myself. When I moved here, I had heard of the Hale Center, and 2 days after moving here, I got to go see West Side Story at West Valley Arts. I had no idea that the theater was in the round. I had no idea who was in the show. I just knew that I had a ticket, and I walked in and I saw maybe the best performance I had ever seen in my entire life. I went to theater school in New York City, and I had the absolute pleasure of being in the production of A Tale of Two Cities this past February at West Valley Arts. I will say I've worked across the country in some beautiful theaters in La Mirada, California, New York City, New Jersey, Oregon, and I will say the coolest theater I've ever worked at is West Valley Arts. So it kind of crushes my heart every time someone says that the building seems to be crumbling and is unusable. It's one of the most amazing places I've ever worked, and I can say that it has changed my life, and it will continue to change and save the lives of everyone who walks in there. So I urge you to do whatever you can to keep this building as a person who works with young people especially.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any comments from council at this time? Okay. Seeing none, we will finish up, and I would like to make one suggestion to move our new business resolution 24-96 to our next item. Is there any objection to that? Okay. Then this resolution expresses appreciation for the contribution of the West Valley Performing Arts Center, and indicates city support for the possible transition of West Valley Arts to a community-based organization, and commitment to provide subsidy until the end of 2025. So I will turn this action item over to the council. We're resolution 24-96 to the council for discussion or a motion.
I'd just like to add that this resolution doesn't prevent us from subsidizing arts beyond that time, but it says that we're making a commitment to work with this new organization and help support them.
That's correct. And not only does it not restrict a time limitation, it does not also restrict our amount that we would like to, should the council decide to continue a subsidy.
So I'd like to make a motion that we approve this resolution.
I second that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone.
Yes.
Councilman Harmon.
Yes.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Hi. We will now take a 5-minute recess and then be back to continue the rest of our business for the evening. Thank you.